The stars seemed distant and indifferent, glittering coldly as they always had, but to the people of Earth, their shimmering light held a new threat. Humanity had been watching, tracking strange movements, unusual energy signatures, and mysterious anomalies across the skies. Signals from far reaches of the galaxy warned of an incoming fleet, one whose size and power dwarfed any force Earth had ever known. The Galactic Alliance, a council of ancient civilizations, had mobilized its armada, and its purpose was clear: Earth was in their way. In a desperate plea, Earth's leaders reached out to the Galactic Council, sharing intelligence and imploring them to reconsider their course. Earth had been preparing for this encounter for decades, secretly developing defense technology of unprecedented strength. Humanity's intelligence reports detailed that their defenses would hold, that Earth wasn't the weak, inconsequential planet the Council believed it to be. Yet, the Galactic Council remained arrogant, dismissing Earth's warnings as the delusions of a young, inexperienced race. Primitive humans, the Council sneered across their star channels. They barely understand galactic politics, let alone the might of the Alliance. Let them see what true power is. Then, on a cold and clear night, they arrived. The Galactic Armada shimmered into orbit around Earth, a fleet of sleek silver crafts and towering battleships armed with energy weapons that could tear entire planets apart. They hovered ominously above Earth, casting shadows across continents, blocking out starlight and sun alike. Earth's people watched in terror, a strange silence gripping the globe as everyone held their breath. Humanity's final warning had been sent, one last attempt to forestall destruction, but the Council had laughed it off, certain that nothing on Earth could possibly harm them. With an imperious signal, the command went out from the Alliance's flagship. Earth was to be subdued, no matter the cost. Then, in a blinding flash of light, Earth's defenses activated. Out of the darkness, Earth's hidden satellites powered on, revealing vast energy fields rippling around the planet like an invisible cage. Plasma cannons locked onto the nearest Alliance ship and fired with a precision that belied Earth's supposed primitive technology. The first wave of galactic ships didn't stand a chance. They were vaporized within seconds, reduced to clouds of burning metal and dissipating energy. Shocked cries rippled through the Council's command as they watched entire squadrons disintegrate in moments. "How is this possible?" a voice shouted, disbelief thick in every word. They scrambled to react, sending evasive commands across their fleets, ordering ships to regroup, to counterattack. But Earth's defense systems were faster, more advanced than anything they could have expected. Earth's retaliatory fire tore through their defenses as if they were tissue paper, each shot finding its target with lethal accuracy. Massive star cruisers, symbols of the Council's dominance across the galaxy, fell one after another in quick succession. In the control room of the Council's flagship, fear crept into the voices of even the highest-ranking commanders. This was no simple conquest. Earth was fighting back with a strength that defied everything they believed. As the Council ships fell, their glowing energy cores erupted in dazzling explosions, lighting up Earth's sky like a macabre fireworks display. Every blast was a clear message. Earth would not bow. Within minutes, what had been an unstoppable armada was reduced to a scattered, panicked fleet. Ships turned tail, engines blazing as they tried to flee Earth's orbit, but Earth systems had them in its sights. One by one, the Alliance ships fell, reduced to wreckage, their pride shattered along with their hulls. The Council, once so certain of their superiority, now faced annihilation. Desperate, a Council leader activated an emergency broadcast, pleading, "Humanity, listen. We underestimated you. Stand down and we'll negotiate." But Earth's defenses didn't waver. The time for warnings had passed. In less than an hour, the Galactic Alliance was no more. Their fleet, once a symbol of intergalactic power, now drifted as silent debris through Earth's orbit. The remnants of their mighty vessels burned like falling stars, a grim spectacle visible to those watching from below. Humanity had delivered its message, not in words but in fire and fury. Back on Earth, as the last of the Council's wreckage disintegrated upon re-entry, humanity stood victorious. The galaxy had watched Earth's resolve, and the message was unmistakable. humanity was no longer a fledgling race. They had proven themselves to be a force to be reckoned with, one that would defend its home at any cost. As dawn broke over the battle-scarred sky, humanity was left in a stunned silence, still trying to grasp the enormity of what had just transpired. Reports streamed in from observatories and intelligence satellites worldwide, confirming what they had hoped but scarcely dared to believe: Earth had prevailed. The Galactic Alliance fleet had been obliterated, its command structure shattered, and its reputation left in ruins. The planet that was once deemed inconsequential had defended itself, not just with valor, but with devastating power. The aftermath rippled through the galaxy. Word of the defeat spread like wildfire, reaching distant systems and remote colonies within days. Planetary governments, especially those under the Council's thumb, were in uproar. For centuries, they had submitted to the Council's authority, believing them to be untouchable. But the fall of the Alliance's fleet at the hands of Earth planted a seed of defiance among them, an idea that perhaps the Council wasn't invincible after all. Inspired by Earth's victory, these planets began to organize, covertly at first, forming alliances and preparing for an opportunity to break free from the Council's control. The Galactic Council, once proud and unyielding, was in disarray. Panic gripped their leaders as they held emergency sessions, each one more frantic than the last. The Council's authority was crumbling, and for the first time, they feared retaliation from those they had once subjugated. The Council's surviving leaders, humiliated and fearful, debated how to respond. Should they attempt diplomacy with Earth or plan a counterstrike? Yet, with the loss of their primary fleet, a counterattack would take years to prepare. The shock of defeat had shaken them to the core. Meanwhile, on Earth, humanity celebrated its victory but knew the peace was tenuous. Scientists and engineers worked tirelessly, analyzing the debris left from the Council's ships, reverse engineering alien technology to strengthen Earth's defenses even further. A coalition of nations formed an unprecedented pact to build a united Earth defense force, equipped with hybrid technology that blended Earth's advancements with salvaged alien systems. World governments that had once bickered over borders and resources now saw the wisdom in unity, knowing that only together could they withstand whatever might come next. As humanity prepared for the uncertain future, a quiet but powerful resolve spread across the planet. For centuries, Earth had been seen as a backwater world, a young species barely scratching the surface of cosmic knowledge. But now, with the galaxy's attention fixed firmly on them, humanity had earned a new place on the intergalactic stage. Leaders and scientists alike began to dream of venturing further, of meeting other civilizations not as a conquered species but as equals, or even allies. Not long after, mysterious transmissions began appearing on human channels. Messages encoded with unknown symbols but a clear intent: diplomacy. Delegates from planets and colonies under the Council's thumb reached out, requesting Earth's aid in their fight for independence. They saw in humanity a symbol of resilience, a partner who had defied the odds and defeated the mighty Galactic Alliance. While some on Earth were wary, others saw this as an opportunity, a chance to build a coalition that could stand together against the Council's oppressive rule. Back in the depths of the galaxy, the Council's remnants plotted in silence, licking their wounds but vowing revenge. They watched as Earth's influence grew, as planets once loyal to the Council began defecting, aligning themselves with humanity's defiance. The Council leaders knew that their power would never be truly restored until they could erase the humiliation dealt by Earth. Plans were laid in secret chambers, whispers of sleeper agents and infiltration strategies whispered across star systems. The Council would strike again, when Earth least expected it. But Earth, now wiser and vigilant, was ready to meet the challenge. Humanity had not just survived, they had thrived in the face of galactic adversity, rising from the ashes of battle as a beacon of hope for the oppressed worlds of the galaxy. In every corner of Earth, people looked to the stars, no longer seeing a vast, empty void, but a future ripe with allies, challenges, and the promise of greatness. The galaxy had ignored them, underestimated them, and nearly destroyed them. Now, humanity was ready to take its place among the stars, not as subjects, but as a force that the galaxy would never forget. As the months passed, Earth's newfound allies, inspired by humanity's victory, began to mobilize. Communication relays hummed with encoded transmissions, secret meetings were held in deep space shadow zones, and a rebellion quietly swelled in the dark corners of the galaxy. These planets, long subdued by the Council's oppressive rule, were willing to risk everything for freedom. With Earth's technology and strategic acumen guiding them, they had a real chance of shaking off the Council's iron grip. Earth became the center of an underground alliance, a haven for diplomats and envoys from distant star systems. Earth's leaders had never envisioned themselves as intergalactic freedom fighters, but the role came naturally as stories of the Council's cruelty surfaced. Tales of planets stripped of resources, of native cultures erased in the name of order and progress, spread through Earth's networks, igniting outrage. This wasn't just about defense anymore, it was about justice, and Earth was ready to be the beacon of hope for those who had long been silenced. Training centers were established in hidden locations on Earth and its nearby moons, where alien soldiers trained side by side with human forces. Cultural exchange programs sprang up, blending Earth's traditions with those of distant worlds. Humanity was evolving, broadening its understanding of life and the galaxy as it formed bonds with species who had once been distant myths. The Alliance wasn't just building an army, it was creating unity, shared purpose, and strength drawn from diversity. But Earth's rise didn't go unnoticed. The Galactic Council, backed into a corner, launched a new strategy: psychological warfare. They began infiltrating human networks, spreading disinformation, hacking into Earth's media, and broadcasting messages of doom and despair. They attempted to plant seeds of doubt, trying to fracture Earth's alliances before they could solidify. Strange voices filled Earth's airwaves with warnings of coming devastation, urging humans to surrender, to abandon their foolish aspirations of galactic freedom. Yet, Earth's resolve held firm. Humanity had faced despair before and had endured worse threats from within their own history. These psychological attacks only served to strengthen the planet's unity and resolve, reminding Earth of what it stood to lose if it gave in. Then, the day came when the Council made its next move. A fleet of stealth ships appeared in the Kuiper Belt, attempting to slip through Earth's defenses undetected. But Earth's alliance had anticipated this, having secretly deployed hyperspace surveillance drones along the outskirts of the solar system. The moment the Council fleet crossed into range, Earth's alarms blared, and defensive forces went into action. In a coordinated response, Earth's fleet and their allies engaged in a dazzling battle above the frozen plains of Pluto. Alien allies piloted ships alongside human soldiers, merging their technologies to create new, deadly maneuvers. The Council ships, larger and more numerous than anything Earth had faced before, moved in tight formations, their energy cannons lighting up the void. The battle raged for hours, the skies alive with streaks of plasma fire and blazing trails of shipwreckage. Earth's allies fought with a ferocity born of generations of oppression. They didn't fight just for survival, they fought for the liberation of their homeworlds, for a future where the Council's shadow no longer blotted out their skies. Humanity, too, fought with the tenacity of a species that had clawed its way from the brink of extinction, their weapons and tactics a testament to their ingenuity. The Council's forces attempted every trick, deploying cloaked strike teams, using electromagnetic pulses to disrupt communications, and unleashing prototype weaponry Earth had never seen before. But Earth and its allies adapted quickly, countering every attack with a relentless resilience that surprised even their enemies. As the Council's fleet began to falter, the galactic commanders finally understood: Earth was no longer a mere threat. They were an unstoppable force of unity and determination. With the Council's forces on the brink of defeat, Earth's command sent out a final broadcast. It wasn't a demand for surrender, it was a call for liberation, urging all who had been under the Council's rule to rise and join the Alliance. Across the galaxy, the oppressed heard Earth's rallying cry and responded, small revolts igniting like sparks on worlds that had been silent for too long. The Council, isolated and weakened, found itself besieged not only from Earth's forces but from within its own borders. In a last, desperate move, the Council leaders attempted to flee, retreating to the heart of their empire where they hoped to regroup and retaliate. But Earth's allies pursued them, following the Council's fleeing ships through hyperspace. The chase ended in the Council's own capital, a sprawling metropolis on an artificial planet encircled by defense satellites and fortified space stations. There, on the steps of the Council's grand citadel, the Alliance gathered, confronting the leaders who had terrorized the galaxy for centuries. Earth's representative, a seasoned commander who had seen the rise of the rebellion from the beginning, stood before the Council leaders and offered them a choice. Surrender, renounce their claim to power, and dismantle their empire, or face the judgment of the galaxy. Defeated and with nowhere left to run, the Council capitulated. Their empire was dissolved, their authority shattered, and their legacy reduced to a cautionary tale for the galaxy's future. With the fall of the Council, a new era dawned. Earth and its allies formed a galactic coalition dedicated to cooperation, respect, and mutual defense. Each planet retained its sovereignty, its unique culture celebrated rather than suppressed. Earth, once an isolated world on the fringe of the galaxy, became a symbol of resilience, freedom, and unity. The stars no longer held fear for humanity. They held endless possibilities, and humanity was ready to explore them alongside friends, allies, and those they had inspired to rise. As Earth's people looked up into the night sky, they no longer saw distant stars, they saw the foundations of a united galaxy, one in which all beings could thrive. The galaxy had once ignored humanity's warning, but now, with the lessons of conflict and unity etched into its history, it would never forget humanity's strength.